Start of a very busy stretch for basically all of the guys that are playing in the States these 2 weeks, and then FedEx Cup and then obviously the Ryder Cup as well. So looking forward to it. It's a busy run, but it'll be nice to play well and get into a good bit of form and try and make a run. There's a few things to play for. Obviously, 2 big weeks coming up, and then concentrate on the FedEx Cup and try and do well in that, and then obviously try to go into the Ryder Cup playing as well as possible. So good stretch coming up and looking forward to it.
Thank you. We'll take some questions if we have any. If you could raise your hands, guys. Man at the back.
Rory, you tweeted that this is one of the best practice facilities on tour. You hit balls all day. What do you like about this place?
Everything. I mean, it's just a great place to come and do some work, and I like the practice facility because everything's it's so close as well. You got the range, the short game area, the putting green right there, and the thing about the range is it just gives you nice targets to hit at. It's got good target greens and great turf, and it's just one of those ranges where I just feel like I could spend all day on.
Well,
2 top 10s the last 2 years here. Do you feel it's a course that suits your game?
Yeah, I do. I love this event. I think it's one of the best events we play all year, and definitely one of the best courses. I think I had a 9th and a 6th the last couple of years. So, come in here, with a couple of good finishes behind me, and I feel like I'm hitting the ball pretty well. It's just about going out there and putting a score on the card, and if I can do that, then it'd be nice to to play well here this week and go into the PGA with a good finish behind me.
Steve, down on the left here.
Rory, how frustrating has it been the last couple of months since the Wells Fargo was your last top 5? After you were a top 5 machine there for 12 months, how frustrating has it been?
Yeah, it's been frustrating. Obviously, it would be nice to tee it up every week and be in contention, but it's just not going to happen. It was happening there for a while, and it was nice, and my game just sort of went off for a few weeks, and the last few weeks have just been trying to get it back to where it was, and feel like I'm definitely getting closer to that.
Is there anything in particular that was off?
Not really. I think there was a few things. I mean, I needed to tweak a couple of things in my swing. I just got a little bit out of position, and then from there, it's been I've been hitting the ball great on the range. It's just about trying to bring that from the range onto the golf course and trying to separate the two. Try not to think so technical on the golf course. When I've been working on stuff on the range, so just trying to go out there and see my shots and be a little more visual with that.
Rory, on a sort of similar theme, when's the last time you walked off the course feeling as though you squeezed everything out of the round of golf?
Probably the first round of the Open. I felt like it could have been a bit better, but I felt like it was, after what happened on the 15th on that first day, to birdie 2 of the last 3 holes, to shoot 67, that was, it was great to come off the course feeling like that. It's the first time I've felt like that for a while. I mean, even through all this bad, well, I mean, it's just I haven't played as well as I would have liked, but I still had a couple top 10s, and still have played some good golf in there. Just haven't played the golf that I've wanted to at the right times. Obviously, being the US Open and the Open a couple of weeks ago.
How important is it from a personal point of view to sort of be playing well these next 2 weeks, particularly going into, you talked about the FedEx, but particularly going into the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I'd love to just get in contention and just feel the buzz of having a chance to win a tournament coming down the back 9. It's something that is quite addictive, and something that it's a nice feeling, and I'd love to be able to do that. At some point in the next few weeks, and I feel like I'm doing enough work, and I'm putting in the effort to try and do that. So.
You have to peak, Rory. You have to peak so many times over this next couple of months. So many big events. How do you fit the FedEx in that in terms of your impetus, your incentive on that the series?
Yeah, it's a big goal for me because after you play the PGA, I suppose the majors are over for the year, and you got to really try and set yourself another goal. And for me, that other goal is to try and finish as high as in the FedEx Cup as possible. Try and go into the Tour Championship in the top 5 and give myself a chance to win. So after the PGA next week, my sights will be set on that, and then the closer the time comes to the Ryder Cup, it's something I'll start to think about as well.
Yes, sir.
Rory, does a smaller field, the WGC aspect of it, does it give the week a little different flavor or feel as far as you're concerned, or does it feel just about the same as it does in the full field?
No, it feels a little different. It's actually quite nice. The practice days are a little quieter. You feel like you can get a little bit more work done. And it's nice knowing that you've got 4. This is a huge tournament, and fortunately or unfortunately, whatever way you want to look at it, it comes a week before a major. So, guys are looking to try and get their games in the best shape possible going into next week. But it's a great tournament to do that. It's a great tournament to prepare for the major next week, but it's also a tournament that you want to try and win because it's one of the biggest events we've got out here. So, there's a different feel, but it's great. You've got the best players in the world here, and you have to play your best to win.
A quick follow on that. You spoke at some length about how good you felt about the practice area here. You guys pretty much only play at the best clubs everywhere. I mean, is there that much of a difference between practice areas? And when you're out there, can you tell that you're getting more out of practice at a certain venue than you might at others?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, there's some courses we go where the practice facilities aren't great. Definitely not as good as they are here. I love hitting balls in this range. You've got great targets. Great little short game area. The putting green's right there. It's just that whole area you could just spend all day at and not get bored.
Rory, yesterday I was looking at pictures people took with their cell phones of you basically eating lunch, and it just brought to mind a question. Do you feel like you have any normalcy or privacy in your life?
Yeah, I think so. Whenever I'm not at a golf tournament, I try and just sort of keep it low-key and not really... yeah, but it's just the way it is, I suppose, and it's not a bad position to be in. I'd definitely rather have it this way than not, because yeah, it does. But I feel like I've gotten used to it over the past year or so. After winning the U.S. Open and everything. So it did take a little bit of time to adjust to, but it's just part of life now.
Well,
Rory, I wondered what you thought about Adam Scott, what happened to Adam at the Open. And we know what you went through at Augusta and how you bounced back so brilliantly at Congressional. What would you say to him if you bumped into Adam this week?
Yeah, I sent him a text straight after. I sort of felt like I knew how he was feeling that night. And I just said to him, don't let the last 4 holes hide the fact that you played better than everyone else for the first 68. You can't, it was for me as well at Augusta. I had to really tell myself, like, for the first 63 holes, you were better than everyone else. It's not my fault. It's not his fault that a golf tournament is 72 holes. If it was 68 holes, he would have won the tournament, or 69 holes. It just happens to be 72. So, you just have to really believe in yourself and believe that for those 68 holes you were the best player that week. And it's tough. It's a tough loss at that moment in time. You think it's the only chance you're ever going to get, and your whole world came crashing down. But in reality, Adam's such a great player that he's going to have plenty more chances to win major championships. And I said it at the time when at the Masters that you need to lose before you can win. You need to learn how to handle that. And I'm sure he knows what he's done wrong, and I'm sure that when he gets himself in that position again, that he'll do the right things.
What have you seen from in the Olympics so far? What are your impressions of it, and what do you think about golf next time in the Olympics? How will it be different from the Ryder Cup?
Yeah, I was in London last week and sort of got a taste of the Olympics. I went into the Athletes' Village one day, and it was the first ever time I'd been close to the Olympics in any way, and it's completely different than anything I've ever been at before. Just the scale of it, the size of it. And yeah, I mean, I've tried to keep track as much as I can. Obviously, last week you could keep track an awful lot better, and it's hard to sort of stay on top of everything with the time change here. But it's a great event, and golf being included in the Olympics, I think, is great for golf. Golf as a sport will be recognized in more countries, and definitely participation levels will go up because of that. So I think for golf it's great that it's in the Olympics.
Do you think will it feel different from the Ryder Cup, you suppose?
Yeah, for sure. It'll feel much different because at the end of the day you're still you're still playing for yourself in a way, the way the format is at the minute.
Yes.
Were expectations unrealistic after you won the U.S. Open as much as you did? And since you did win that, did that help you deal with the patch of missing cuts this year?
Yeah, I mean, expectations were definitely heightened after Congressional, and yeah, whether they were unrealistic or not, I'm not too sure. I mean, I have high expectations of myself, and feel like for the 12 months after Congressional, I've played some really good golf. I got to #1 in the world, at a couple of points, and won 3 tournaments. So I feel like the golf I've played since has been pretty good. I'm not going to be able to play golf like I played at Congressional every week. I think everyone knows that, but it would be great to be able to play like that maybe a couple weeks a year. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's helped me anyway for how I've played over the past couple of months. It's nice to to go to majors now and not be asked the question that a few other guys are asked. When are you going to win your first one, or do you feel like it's time, or it's nice to just have that monkey off my back. But I think it's about time. I'm trying to get back to win tournaments and trying to challenge for #1 again.
Okay, guys. Go on.
Considering how many guys have come from behind this year, does that almost make you realize you have to be on point? I mean, it's like for example, what happened to Adam? You can't, there's been some unbelievable comebacks on this tour.
Yeah, you look at, even from the start of the year, Kyle Stanley having that huge lead, and then, coming from 6 behind or whatever in Phoenix and winning, and, so it's, it happens, it's golf, it's hard to play with the lead, it's hard to, keep yourself that focused and just concentrate on yourself and get the job done. It's like, sometimes the guys coming up behind you feel like there's nothing to lose, so they just go for it, and, they can play a little more freer than the guy that has the lead. So, but I still think that going out on a Sunday with, leading the tournament is still the best position to be in. So, if you give me if you said to me on, coming into this Sunday of this tournament, would you rather be one ahead or one behind? I'd say I'd be one ahead, every day. So.
Okay.